Very exciting week, a week of many things. The rains are here with us, of course. It's Let's Be Real, and of course, we are going to discuss heavy issues, deep issues, others very sad, others social, and others, I don't know what you guys would put in between. I'm your host, CEO Charles Tieno, alongside
Dr. C, the winemaker, the taste maker, and in front of me, Samantha Red, Samantha
Blue.
People don't eat blue things. Have you noticed people don't eat blue things?
What is it?
They don't eat blue things?
No. Have you ever seen blue food?
Wait. Okay, there's blue drinks.
Yeah, but just it's not popular.
Okay.
There's some colors that put you off. Anyway, the rosé,
You would say-
Samantha wines. Thank you, Kenyans. We are selling, and I would like you this coming week to go and get yourself a bottle.
All right.
Yeah, I'm Maria Nyambane Waweru. I'm so happy to be here. I'm an author, Love the Original You and Marriage is a Scam. I also do a kids magazine, The Young Magazine, and thank you so much for the support, even on the show. We really appreciate, and we are looking forward to so much of more conversations of today.
Oh yeah, we're going to have a lot of conversations, and I'm Simon Says. Yes, I do say a lot of things, sometimes very provocative. It gets the people going. And we're going to say a lot more things. We're just going to keep it real right here, and I'm going to keep it real with you with the content that I make. Simon Says Mangi on all social media platforms. But right now, CEO,
Yeah, man.
we're going to get started heavy.
Yeah, sure.
Let's start
The
it.
question, this week, there are a couple of, it's actually a couple, a young girl and a young man who are siblings and who are dating. And they've been going to many interviews and talking about they didn't know they're siblings, they found themselves in a family way, their mothers are not stopping them. The question is, what's happening to the young people?
Foolishness. And here's no, I'm being honest. And here's the thing. This is a prime example of foolishness can have its own level of validity to someone's mind. And that is the truth. And here's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
These guys have been dating for 2 years. A year and a half into their relationship, they find out that indeed, oh, your father is my father. Allah. Then they started now saying, you know what? But we love each other. We can't let go. Guy, what is this madness? Like, where have we reached as a society to the extent that your feelings seem to be overly validated? And that's the problem with today's society. We're validating kids' feelings so much to the extent that they think their feelings are to be catered to and not feelings that should be adjusted towards what reality is. That is the main thing. Because now when you are out here saying that my feelings should be validated, how I feel towards my own sister, yes. And go even further. This boy, that boy gets on my nerve. This boy over here starts saying that he hates his own father. I despise young boys who are quick to actually speak bad about their father in public. Because the shame that's about to come on them when they grow up, they'll realize in reality what the actions that their father had to take in order for them to live that life that they did. For example, the girl has nothing bad to say about the father.
Yes.
The girl is saying, oh, the father was good, aka the same father, because they're brother and sister.
Yes.
And then now, this boy is saying, huyo ni deadbeat, I don't like him, because hakunisaidia nini, huyo ni nani, tupo huko. But the problem is this, when you start speaking like that, and he's saying that he should be the one to look out for me, you are now acting in ignorance and utter foolishness, and you can't even see it because you're drowning in it. And you're caught up in your own foolishness and saying that I love my sister and we're going to maintain like that, and you as a deadbeat father, you cannot do anything about it, and I don't care about you, and going around here in interviews and uttering that out to the public, I think that that's utter foolishness on you as that boy, because the girl has not spoken ill of the father in any way, saying that he has actually been good in everything. So, you should actually ask your mom real hard questions about
What
really happened
between them.
Yes, because these are adult issues that children sometimes don't have privilege to knowing. Isn't that true as a parent?
Yeah, as a parent, first of all, let me start by saying the level of immaturity out here is becoming too intense. This father is the one I'll blame first. Parade your children. All of you are my children from when they are kids. Parade them, let them know. Because these are not feelings. This could actually be, she's my sister, we are connected by blood. We are not connected sexually. They just don't know, they're stupid, like we said. They are just connected by blood. They don't know that. But in real sense, the people who are giving them the platform to parade their incest, those interviews should stop. Like, they're stupid. Already, they're already claiming out there, look at us, we are stupid. Now, stop giving them the platform to parade their incest.
But stupidity sometimes sells. Let it sell.
Now, you people are looking for views, but there are people out here who are watching it in a manner of, they did it, we can do it. Because these are looking for clicks, and they are getting the clicks. And they are getting people to... Okay, let me end my statement here because it feels like I'm giving them platform.
So the thing is, first off, we are in an era of free speech. I think it's okay that they came out. I'm not saying what they're doing is right, but I have two views on that, two opposing views about that. Yeah. So it's a free speech. People can speak, and we can, and it's a good thing they're talking about it, because then you guys know out there that this can happen. That said, from a scientific point of view, not just culturally, but culturally, the African culture was very clever. We are so vigilant when it comes to even genetic diversity. We have, the genetic pool is so rich because the traditions are very strict, very, very strict on who you can get married to, who you can have children with. And you know, if these two children, they know each other in that way of the family, let me be polite the way you have put it, the girl can get pregnant and she can produce a child. And if you are related, there's what we call, there are certain genes that are not dominant and therefore they don't express themselves. Now, what would actually happen from a scientific point of view is that if they have a child, they really run a really big risk of having a child with perhaps deformities, with certain things that are not supposed to be in the family being there. And this is, it's very easy to see like in the Indian communities, because the cousins marry cousins. Yeah, in the Arab world, even the Asians, they sort of like, they want to keep the wealth within the family. And you will find there's so many Indian families when you go in there where they still practice that. And even in India, even in the Arab world, they have funny diseases you have never heard of. Yani, you go to a house and you find someone looking like, is this a human being or not? Because they are born with really funny deformities, funny diseases, funny, like somebody grows up really well, and then later on they turn into something else. But because all these recessive bad genes are given an opportunity to express themselves. And that's why when the first psychiatrists who came to Kenya said that Africans actually are not as clever, there's a part of the brain that is missing, because they thought we don't suffer from depression because there's a part of the brain that is missing. And it became a narrative that was propagated. But the real truth is that some of these diseases were not existing in a bigger way because of the strictness in which our traditions allowed us to completely, you knew, like like if you're my sister and you're married in that family, I could not come and get married in the same family. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. But also that said, from other than being from a scientific point of view, I'm just wondering, where did Abraham's children get wives?
Where did Abraham?
Where?
From the Bible.
Where?
Listen, no.
Cousins.
No.
There are very many times in the Bible where cousins are actually marrying cousins.
Yeah, but
But that's
Yeah,
cousins.
I'm just putting
that's
it out there.
cousins.
I'm just putting it out there. It's not my opinion. I'm just saying.
Where were Abraham's cousins? That's what you're trying to
Not
ask.
Abraham's cousins. I'm just saying.
But if I may ask you, could it be
Listen.
that from the Bible, like incest is rebuked? Could it be that is the reason for deformity, me being spiritual?
Could it be also in the Kenyan law, incest is not allowed. It's illegal.
Then why are they parading it?
So it's not even parading it. The thing is, I'm not opposed to parading it because it's okay that they are talking about it. It's okay that they've discovered. What they will do with it, that is another thing. But it's okay that they are talking about it because let people know that, you
We
know.
have feelings for each other.
No. Let people know that it can actually happen. You have a child here, you have a child here, they don't meet. It can happen.
Okay, I think one, Abraham comes from the moon people. By that time, we're talking about Abraham. There were very many people in Earth at that time. So
Was it Adam?
You're talking about Adam.
I'm
maybe.
talking about Adam. Yes, I meant Adam.
Yes, but the children, it's written, and you can read the Bible that the women were provided.
God made other women.
Like, did he create after
Other
Eve?
women.
Did he also
It
create,
was
or there were?
provided. Remember that Adam had how many kids? And the Bible says, and there were no other people.
Cain and Abel.
Yes, after Abel there was another son.
Seth.
Yes,
Then
and after that,
there were some daughters.
No, daughters were not married.
No, the
yes.
daughters from
After that, we know that Cain and Abel's children are the ones that gave birth to all these generations. We are asking, where did the wives come from?
You just read it. It's there in the Bible. It's written.
What is written?
What is written, CEO?
Written. Go read.
What?
You cannot be
That
here
was
and you've
my
not read
question.
it.
But
Let's
what,
go.
what about the kids? What about the kids?
First of all, it's about the values we are trying to propagate in this society. Number one, I have a very big issue with the value system. The value system where these two, the girl and the boy, you meet and you do not tell the children, if you meet anyone, ask them where they are from. When I was growing up, the first question you meet a girl, you are told to find out who the girl is. When you are going to date, you cannot just find someone and you don't even know her second name. This girl you met in campus. The narrative is very simple. They met in campus. They like painting. They draw together and all this kind of stuff. Yet the boy didn't, or the girl didn't ask, and who is your father, who is your mother, before you move on in this relationship. Because the families do not nowadays treat their kids and tell them, you cannot date here or you cannot do this. Remember, the girl is saying that both of their mothers know that they are dating. And they have not stopped them. It's because probably these two women are bitter about that man. So they want him to be hurt that his kids are dating. You are still the mothers of these kids. You should have told your daughter or your son, this one is your relative. But also there is a bigger problem. These are bigger societal problems we are dealing with here. That we've become too individualistic, that we do not want to think beyond what is necessary to us. So anyone who is not beyond what you do is not your problem. And that's why these boys are saying, as we love each other, we can live with each other. We are not going to stop loving each other since our mothers know. But where is the bigger society rule in this? Do they go to church? Do they even go to school to understand what incest is? Because you have been taught, you went to school, you've been taught what relationships are. You went to the Bible school, you know, I know they are Christians. They are subscribed to some gods out there. So they should understand. But the parents out here should always bring their kids together.
But here is the deal,
Yeah,
CEO.
yeah.
What if, I'm going back to the clout chasing thing. What if the mothers are not stopping them because one of the women knows, you are not the father of my child, so...
Yeah, but
just think about it, like, just assume that is your child, but deep down I know you're not my child. Because I feel like a mother should have that sense of motherly instinct or nature or the nurture part of them to stop that.
So maybe they need to do a DNA test.
They
But
need to
that
do a
said,
DNA
that
test.
said, actually, I have seen this issue happen in my village, where somebody who is related within that particular family and another family that moved far, and they met somewhere else in a different town, and they insisted on being together. And it was that actually the mother of the girl had refused completely to acknowledge. And let me tell you, it is the community that ostracized them. You know, like if there are community functions, the
wouldn't
family
come.
was ostracized, everyone, like if they, like they were, after 10 years, they had to separate. Because then there was no community they would go into. So what am I saying? As a community, as Kenyans, we need to subscribe to certain value systems. We need to know what is right, what is wrong. So when these two say now they're together, they want to get married, they want to start a family. If their community shuns them and tells them that we do not accept, they'll end up going to maybe the Attorney General's office. And even if they go to the Attorney General's office, that is if they can bypass the law.
They wouldn't.
Then they will not be able to live. That relationship, for me, if you ask me, is headed nowhere if they are within the community.
And that's why I married a different tribe.
And
Yes.
even
You
more
need to do
important,
research.
I think even adding what you mentioned, people are doing the most for content creation. Or you think it's only the interviews that these people are doing? They've had a whole TikTok channel, they have a whole YouTube channel with a lot of pieces of
Another
content.
place they were telling people to
It's not-
subscribe.
Yes.
It's called there's a certain site.
They have a lot of pieces of content. It's not that they started yesterday. Nuh-uh. They've had a lot of pieces of content that now generated people and eyeballs now for them to be invited to have conversations about them, to having because I saw them on TikTok.
The best thing is to sometimes disciplining kids is very necessary.
Yes.
So this is a sign that people need to be slapped.
But
Yes.
on that
Yes.
note, on that note, I even want to say something that is really important.
Disciplining
Yes,
is key.
I see. Go ahead, Dr. C.
How
Yes.
comes the father is not beating that boy, by the way?
He's not.
Before I talk about the German billionaire who is not here. By the way, there was a show on one of the subscription channels
Yes.
where there was this guy in Denmark who was a sperm donor. And ideally, there's a law on sperm donation in terms of how many sperms you can, how many children you can actually sire. This guy would change from the time I think he was in the university. He would give his sperm to so many women, so many women. So one girl decided to find out who exactly is her father. And there was a whole community all over the world that came. They found they were almost like 200, sired by the same man.
That's a powerful man.
So,
I applaud him.
Yes,
that's
but see, the thing is, because they don't know each other, so they make a point of meeting like once every year to get to know each other, because they may find themselves marrying each other. So what am I saying? It's not necessarily wrong that these kids actually have this channel. They are just creating the awareness. That
So
the
that
soci-
other kids will come.
No, not come, to be careful, for people to be careful. Like this look, it happened to us. It happened
Dr.
to
C,
us.
can I ask you something?
Yes.
Do you believe they are really in love? And
I don't know if
these
they're in
kids-
love, but you know, love is very subjective. You can
Yeah.
say what you're saying. It's not for me to say whether
Chemical
they are in
reaction
love
of the
or
brain.
not. For me, is to stick to the fact. The fact is, they say they are related. That's what they say. We don't know unless we do a DNA test. But they say they are related. We take them by face value for that. And the second thing is that this can happen. And so what is the third thing? They are just creating awareness. Be careful. Imagine how many young people they have actually educated in terms of like knowing, like finding out, where is this guy from? You know, it may not be the traditional way of educating, but I think maybe that is the advocacy thing they've taken on. Whether or not they end up taking their relationship to the next level is not for me to say. But I'm just saying it's a good thing they're talking about it.
For me, I would warn that boy and tell him, just get out of that nonsense, grow up, and for that girl, you cannot be sleeping with your brother.
Yes, that's what we
Period.
are saying. But they can talk about it. No one can stop them to talk about it.
Their father
Okay,
can beat
speaking
them
of something
too.
to talk about, there was this German person you were
Yes,
telling me
yes,
about.
yes. Talking of talking.
Yes.
So according to it's a Daily Mail, a German billionaire who disappeared very many years ago. He went for a walk in the Mitterrand Mountains, and funny they even call it Mitterrand Mountain. And apparently he's been found alive in Moscow, living with his mistress.
Hey, how old is this?
Disappeared
How old is this
completely.
guy? Was he like old in age or was he like a mid?
He disappeared in his 40s, 50s there.
How long was he lost?
Almost 7 years. He was declared dead. He's been found alive and well in Moscow with his
Whoever
mistress.
declared him dead, did he see the corpse? Or it's just one of them running away from this toxic marriage thing?
He went to the mountains, and you know, it's so funny. It sounds almost like Francois Mitterrand, who actually, you know, Francois Mitterrand, he was one of the presidents, French presidents,
yeah.
and there was a budget for his mistress. He was married, he had a wife, but there was a budget for his mistresses.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah, it's allowed in
This
France.
is very interesting.
Yes.
Because I like the fact that this is a pure example of indeed a man can do anything for peace of mind. And literally, even if it means I need to escape and go somewhere, if my death is announced, notice he is not the one who announced his own death. He just went missing and did not tell anybody where he went. And decided, you know what? All of this, it's not worth it. And literally now, if you even a lot of times, guys can get, there's a lot of guys who can feel compulsed to remain in a certain state of life where they're doing the same old redundant things, be it provision, be it jobs, be it whatever, be it being the father of some kid going out there saying that you're a deadbeat dad or he's dating his
You're
sister.
back there.
See, even if sometimes you just want to get lost, even whatever, and you know very well you're a billionaire, so you know all the times people are coming to you always asking for handouts. Of course, when even someone approaches you, you always want that car. It's okay, because even something, many people, when even they approach you when you're such a successful guy, I'm sure is first impulse. They want something from me, or they want me to do something for them. Is more or less taking from me. But this girl over here, she loves me for me. She just caters for me. And so let me elope and go away. You know, I say props to him. I just feel bad for him that he was found.
Okay, let me be a bit positive because I don't want to believe that he went for the peace of mind. What if in the mountains he fell down and got amnesia? Then this girl rescued him, then they fell in love, then right now is the time that he's been found. Me, I'm trying to be positive because I'm looking at it like...
But
That's a soap opera.
I'm looking at it like there's no way you'll run away from your family. Let's say you have an issue maybe with your wife, but your kids, your business, there's so much you are leaving behind for you to run away. Unless whatever made you leave is such a huge deal. Like, I'm talking big. I'm talking something so big. Like, because there's an option of divorce. There's an option of selling your property and getting that peace of mind. You just have a way to get your peace of mind. But in this case, it should be at least noticed because I don't think he will be okay. You people announcing my death, that means you are dividing my wealth.
Maybe
Listen.
he had done. May you talk first before I talk.
You see, what this proves to us is that the African culture was very good because if you're tired, you can get another wife.
Oh no.
But
Say that again. Say that
yeah,
again. Say
that's,
again.
you
Preach,
see,
preach,
the
my brother,
problem.
preach.
This man is German.
Yes.
In Germany, you either divorce
Or you become divorced.
or you become divorced.
There's no alternative.
There's no alternative. The African culture was so forward-looking
Amen.
that in case you have a problem in this, what we call toxic marriage in the house, you have somewhere else to go. You have another wife. And recently, when I went for the funeral, I went to my friend's, the mother passed on. And the father, I realized the father had 5 wives. The barrier went the other week. And the father gave us tidbit of how to live as a man, a polygamous man. And I was very happy that he says, every woman in that home has her own home. If you feel that you don't talk to him, he'll just say hi to you at the gate. He will not come in your home. So this man, this German,
Yes.
realized that, one, if you divorce, all the whole amount of money will be taken by this woman. Everything will, it's difficult to do a divorce case. That the lawyers will take a lot of money. So the guy decided, let me disappear. But cultures have always taught us how people should live. Cultures gives us a perspective of life, because the European culture is one man, one woman, but not till death do us part. Because till divorce. And then I find it very wrong that a European or an American would get married 10 times and feel bad when an African like me marries 2 wives and says that it is wrong to marry 2 wives. Yet he has married 10 times. That's more than polygamy.
Yeah.
That's morality.
Yeah. So, if somebody wanted to perfectly disappear, like this one seems to have done a perfect disappearing, like a Houdini. It was called Houdini. Houdini,
Yes. Yes,
comedian. Who used to just, no, Houdini was Hungarian. He wasn't from Asia, he was Hungarian. He just disappeared. He was a magician.
Yeah.
And he would make these disappearing things, whatever. But what do I want to say? I want to say that even in Kenya here, we've had people who just disappear. And then they come like 50 years later,
So Caesar
whatever.
has hopes.
So I'm just trying to, okay,
Those
first
ones,
of all,
the
we don't
Kenyans,
know.
the Kenyans go to look for jobs. Most of them come, and we've seen them. A guy goes from maybe Western to Nairobi, stays there for 10, 15 years. And it's the rigor of the work they do. It's not that you wanted to disappear. You just get here and you get comfortable and you stay.
So we have hope for Caesar coming back.
But they come back.
Caesar's.
Who is that?
Ooh, Caesar.
The musician.
Oh,
The musician.
Is
Which
he
one?
still alive?
Which
You know
one?
Caesar?
What are we talking about?
Bam, bam,
Hey.
bam, bam. You don't know that guy?
She just went
Like
left.
what?
She went left.
Like, what are you talking about?
He just disappeared.
When?
Was it 12 years ago? I think 12, 13 years ago.
I'm actually more than 12 now.
Like, what was his name?
Caesar's. Caesar's was a
So it was-
Kenyan young musician who just
Amka
disappeared.
Ukatike
Yeah.
guy.
What is that song?
Oh,
Amka
wow.
Ukatike.
Hey, generation
yeah,
gap.
generation
No,
gap.
listen, no, it's not a gap. Listen, I'll let you know that I edited Nairobi's Entertainment Guide.
Hey, Sawan.
So if you're saying
don't
12 years
defend
ago,
yourself.
that's
Don't
my
defend-
generation.
Don't defend yourself.
Yeah, so probably. Anyway, what am I saying?
It's okay.
That this guy who disappeared, I think maybe that theory could be right.
The amnesia theory.
That he may be in the mountains, yeah. And then the other thing is maybe he was evading something. Maybe he arranged his papers and siphoned money. But also in Russia, there are Russian oligarchs. So it must be like a real true love. That he moved to Germany with an oligarch. The lady, the mistress, must have inherited, like, money was no object. So therefore, they moved in for love. And maybe he didn't have a family and children. I don't know, but I'm just thinking.
I see what you
Why,
mean.
why do I feel like today we are so glorifying love so much in the
Not
wrong
really.
way?
Not really. Here's
It's
what I
the
mean.
glory of love.
No, the wrong way. No, there's no wrong way or right way to be loved. You have to love the person the way they want to be loved. But even what CEO has said, I'll just come back to what he said.
Yeah.
He said about how indeed polygamy would have actually, would have actually even solved this very easy.
Easy.
No need for this headache of finding, getting lost.
Going to the mountain to disappear.
Yes.
It could be the wife
And
was
it-
not the problem.
You know, I
Maybe
don't
the
think
only-
the wife was a problem.
The
Yes.
only problem for the wife is I don't want the other woman.
But here's the issue. Here's the issue. He ran with his
Mistress.
yes. So indeed, that indeed he needed accompaniment. A man needs accompaniment. He needs a man. We need that. We are one of those. But that's the main thing. So even one thing is, this the good side of polygamy. A man will not disappear on you.
They will
You
never.
allow him to have a second wife.
Yeah.
So ladies, please do take note. And we are just keeping it real. And on the other side of this break, we'll keep it real a lot more seriously. Where? Keep it locked.
It's been real. We've kept it real. Of course, that German billionaire, we props up to that guy. The guy who disappears and gets a nice, good wife somewhere, great man. But also we've talked about the families and the way we have to teach our kids about values, not to date each other. Simon.
I will take it to another level. Let me tell you guys what's really going on out here. So, this is the soft guy era. Enough about the soft girl. Soft girl era has now started and it ended. You know, ladies are saying, no, I only can date a man who only has like 6 figures, and I need him to make sure that indeed, if he does not pay for my Uber, that is not a man worth keeping. Well, my sister, we men have now come back, and we're saying this. Indeed, you ladies, indeed, if we take our time to even get prepared, to even come and even see you, you best prepare to even step up and also provide. Because indeed, you want to be treated as an equal, you better step up. Drizzle, drizzle. And why do we say drizzle, drizzle? Well, because y'all said ripple, ripple when y'all was saying soft girl era. That was your thing. Well, ours is drizzle, drizzle. So what I say is this. Y'all ladies who can't even do your eyebrows properly like Maria and Dr. C, I don't even think y'all the standard that even we should allow you within my area. So step up your game, drizzle, drizzle. And at the same time, please do take note, ladies out there. Y'all need to step up your game because we can have a soft guy era. There is a time to have a soft guy era. A time in which y'all ladies should step up and actually indeed recognize that we guys even have standards. Y'all been saying that indeed we don't have standards. We have standards. Y'all don't know how to walk in heels. You're wibbling, wobbling like a wiggly little giraffe here. We're not dealing with that anymore. Drizzle, drizzle, soft guy era. If y'all are too short to the extent that even you can drown in the baptism pool hapo kwa church, hey, we have height requirements hapa. Drizzle, drizzle. So that is what I have to say. Soft guy era. We're here to stay. What do you guys have to say?
There's actually a name.
Yes.
There's a name. You sound like you just invented.
What?
But there's names. Some people used to call them sissies.
Yeah.
And some
Points
people...
No.
There's actually a name I remember.
Yeah.
But that's actually, in Venice, there was a guy called Casanova. So Casanova was a real guy who actually lived. And he would go to...
Yes.
He was living with all these women. Rich women, whatever, and there's a name, there's even a name. What is the name of there's an Italian name actually for those kind of guys. So it's not a new era. It's just like
we have our
they've been amongst us, and now you've become
It's gone
shameless.
mainstream.
Now you're just shameless
Yes.
and mainstream because you know what? The society values us so. Do we even have a society after all?
we actually don't have a society anymore. But then again, I don't know who is stopping you. Okay, let me not say you guys because I don't believe.
I'm in my soft guy era. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, I don't think the society has ever stopped you from having your standards.
You can search for them.
Yes, it has. Because
look, if you want this girl, go after her. If you don't want her, let her. Someone else will go after her. We're not going to be begging you to leave your drizzle things and then so that you can like us the way we are or you can do anything. Dude, we are going through a lot already. Women are still going to be going through a lot as women. And men should also accept to be going through the providing and protecting like God intended. Let us nurture like we were intended to. So these errors that... they may form a million of them, but we are not going to be sitting here glorifying the fact that they have now discovered they can look at our eyebrows. No, that's not the point. We are giving the soft men era the chance to choose. It's okay. People have the right to choose. If you don't want that short girl, leave her. If you want better eyebrows, just let my disorganized one go. Just you have the opportunity to choose and no one is stopping you, by the way, but you don't need to give a name to it. You don't need to start drizzling around just because you want to choose a girl.
But
you either want her or you don't.
Let me be honest. When a man has standards, all of a sudden your ladies react and you want to demean him. all of your ladies all of a sudden triggered. What is going on? Oh, all of a sudden a man has standards, you're calling him sissy. But when a man... No.
I should have standards. Wait first. Wait.
A man will have a say. A man will have a say.
Let's agree. I should have standards because I need to know how my kids will look. Let's start with that.
Yeah. Oh,
because I am bringing a generation.
Of course. I will also have standards because I want to know what am I putting my kids through.
And that's the point. You are the one who is coming after me. I can tell you no.
Yes, yeah.
But me, I'm not coming after you, by the
but
way.
yes, you are.
Me, I'm waiting for all of you to come line yourselves, and then I'll be like, I don't want short toes.
Yes,
I don't want a tall man. Yes.
We
As
also
a
have
woman,
standards. We also
because
have
I'm going to
standards. I don't want to see bad-looking eyebrows. I don't want to.
You don't want someone who walks bad on heels. What's your problem with heels? Buy me a sport shoes.
I also want.
I don't know why that drizzle is affecting me.
Simon.
I also want a lady with a certain level of income.
Then go for someone.
Yes. Actually, another name is
Simon.
toy boys.
Oh yeah.
You see,
That's the point.
That's what women do. They diminish whenever a standard is set.
But you call us slave queens all our lives, and we are okay.
Step up,
Guys,
drizzle,
guys.
drizzle.
Hold on.
We've been okay being slave queens all our lives. What's the big deal?
Listen.
Speak for us.
Cool your tempers.
Yes.
They are drizzling here.
Cool down. You see, I think in this generation, every generation has its way of doing things. When I'm growing up, it was always good to be a heterosexual. And then we became metrosexual. A heterosexual is a man who really believes in the traditional setup. And that's what was there. Then the metrosexual is a guy who really takes care of himself very well, does the manicure, the pedicure, and all that.
And
those are
lip balm.
metrosexuals. And this generation, we've seen a lot of metrosexuals thrive. So I do not have a problem with the new generation coming on board. And the reason probably they're coming on board is because the woman of yesteryears was not as empowered as the woman of today. The empowerment period, and I've always said that 5 years, 6 years, 10 years ago, Dr. Steve said that women were not allowed to do certain jobs. If you go to campuses today, more women are at the center of leadership in the corporate world, and they're doing proper good businesses. There are men I know who are house husbands, who their wives work and they sit. Them they do, they take care, they nurture. So it's an arrangement in all families. Families, there are people who agree the wife can go to work and the husband is a stay-at-home hubby. This is all what society has brought, because changes and of course the economic and the development of the world of a country dictates how people would live. So I think the new generation have realized that there's an opportunity for them also to set their own standards. And the women who will not fit their standards will look for now the metrosexual guys or the heterosexuals who are still there, who says, well, me, I'm here to provide the biblical way. Yes. My job is to provide for you, is to nurture. Because to nurture. But you see, nowadays, even if you go to many homes, all these things have really changed. You find a man is the one who's preparing dinner because the wife is working late. The man is changing the diapers for the kids, is the one who's taking the kids to school. What we have, the world has come is a shared role world. Mm-hmm. Actually, our world is so shared now that you do not wait for your wife to do these things for you. Remember, our fathers would sit down under a tree. He doesn't even know where the sufuria, ya ugali is. The man has no idea in that house. He will sit down and wait for food, lunch, dinner. Anything, he will wait. But nowadays, you have to work, you have to help your partner, you do things together. So your generation, Simon, you can do your drizzling.
Yeah.
I have no issue with you.
Yes,
drizzling for nothing.
and here's the thing.
You can choose a wife
I get
because,
you.
yes.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
there should be nothing wrong with a man stating indeed he has these
Yes,
standards.
yes, there's nothing wrong.
And ladies should not
Totally.
feel in any way diminished in any way if you don't qualify.
For
and
the
a man
standards.
says, indeed, I want this kind of a lady, and I don't want a lady who cannot hit the gym.
But even
it's
Dr.
okay.
C here will
It's no
tell
big
you,
deal.
will tell you that in their village,
Yes.
men would look for women with strong legs.
Yes.
Traditionally.
And there's a
In fact,
Because-
the beauty of, let me tell you the beauty
How
of
do you know
a
legs
Luya
are strong?
woman.
Yeah, strong
The
legs.
Indumbo.
The Indumbo.
Indumbo. Even the wedding songs are like Sena Luanyi, Muhana Indumbo.
What does that mean?
It means the woman who has this
With strong
strong-
legs.
The beauty
Yes.
of where I come from, the
Is
beauty
the legs.
of an Isuka, a Luya woman, is
strong
how
legs.
physically
You're
strong
strong,
they
because
are.
you can dig the land.
Yes, because then you can provide.
Right.
Yeah, you can
And
actually, in
it's not-
agricultural
yes,
societies,
yeah.
men went to war. Women are the ones who are tilling the land,
Yes.
planting and doing everything, you know? And the men were in war and protecting, and they would go to hunt.
Yeah.
Traditionally, that is how it was arranged. So that's why I'm saying that there's a bit of a difference. Men have their own in terms of what they actually bring on the table.
Yeah.
But actually, the African, where I come from, the Luya woman, and I think the African woman, you are not expected to just sit there and expect that the man is providing. But that said, I know what you mean in terms of, you know, the women, that is, again, is a win for women. Women are just defying the traditions. They're saying like, okay, look, our men have gone to marry 20 wives, whatever. So, and there are all these toy boys who are stronger.
And
They look like arm candy. You know?
look at the way Sio's looking Sio's
And
looking at
therefore,
you.
you think you're drizzle
Yes.
using those women?
Yes.
No.
No,
but
they're
here's-
actually
Oh,
using
no,
you.
But here's the thing.
You know these things even on Jumio, you can buy them.
But yes,
So,
that's okay. That's okay.
So what do you really think you're bringing?
No. Here's the thing. That's the wrong question. Is that indeed, can you qualify to the standard that we've actually even set? Because right now, it's a soft guy era. It's an era. You have to remember it's an era. It will last for a time, then it fades away.
You know,
But
when
now here's the
money is
thing,
no
and-
object.
No, not even money. Even at the same time, even it could be, I have these qualifications. If you hear I'm going through, just even the fact you should preempt my issues and actually be a solver immediately.
But-
Just
but-
like how
but is
y'all always say,
is there a space
you should
where this
always
soft guy
preempt
has
my
money?
problems.
Those
You should
are
always-
CCs.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
That's a
no,
CC mentality, honestly.
this is, you're not in your soft guy era. I'm sorry.
But
then.
is there a point
Then-
where this soft guy era has money so that you can have something?
Yes, exactly. But then you should preempt it. I'm saying the standard for you also.
Maria.
Because the standard
So
for
we
me-
are all making choices here.
Yes.
Maria.
So you
should
make
al-
yours, I
you should
make
also
mine.
preempt for me. You see how you
So
always,
you
see how,
just
for example,
we
if I
go,
bring-
you just
I think
drizzle,
we're gonna
drizzle, and
rot
then
on
we
the
just.
shelf.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Yes.
Let's
But
move
Maria,
on.
tell us
Moving
about
on.
this other issue that you had.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
about
this
men.
one is going to now bring the drizzle down. This is the point. Now, as a woman, now let me talk as a woman now. As a
Maria
woman,
doesn't like drizzling.
I don't. As a
Go ahead.
woman now, there is no way that a woman is going to, okay, this is me, but the story is like this. Women are now taking care of men. They can stay at home as long as 1 year. They've lost their jobs. Now you're at home for as long as a year for a woman to provide for you, to take care of the home, to do all those things. And that is providing for you and the family. And some women actually are doing it well, while the men are seated. Is it right, according to this society, for a man to sit down for a whole year after you've lost your job for a woman to provide for you?
I'll start with that.
Okay, go ahead.
So number one, you need to define a man is sitting at home
Doing nothing.
and this year we are here funzo kwa wengine, eh? Because I know there are women in the society who say they'll only marry a man of a certain income, a certain level, and a certain level. So as it were, life can change.
Yeah, life can change.
Life can change.
Will change
You
it.
met this guy when he was here. He gave you this big fat wedding, paid that, put you in that house. He gave you the life, and suddenly he was retrenched, or the business went bad,
Yes, yes.
whatever. Do you want to tell me you're gonna leave your husband because
Is he
Even
doing
if it
something
takes-
about it?
maybe he's doing something about it, yeah? Or, you know, like he could be doing something about it. And most people, most men actually would try and do something about it. And there's so many families, by the way, in that situation. And a lot of families are breaking. So the question is, when you say, till death do us part, or do we want the vows changed to till
Money.
retrenchment, or till the bank account runs low, do we part? Literally, that's what we are saying. So we need to qualify. Like, are these married people? Are they not married? When you married him, did he have something, or was he lying? Or did you marry him when he was in that stage, then you knew? If not, why did you not just change the vows?
Okay, me, I will say one thing. 3 months tops, by the way. After 3
You
months...
mean you leave your husband?
Not leave. Understand? Not leave. Wait, Dr. C, calm down, calm down. I'm not leaving my husband. This is the point. 3 months for you to relax and heal and forget. But now start doing something. I have a problem with you
What if it takes
staying
him a
at
year
home.
or 2 years?
It's
before
okay.
he gets
I want to see
something?
the effort. Even if it takes you 10 years,
want
you
to
are
see the
doing
effort.
something. I want to see the effort. I don't want to see you sleeping in the house every day doing nothing. That is not right. But if you are making an effort, even if it takes you 5 years, I'm okay taking care of us. Because at some point I know if I didn't have a job, you would take care of us. But when there are men who would literally sleep and wait for things to happen, I want to see you make an effort. I want to see you apply for that job. Push yourself out there. Have passions. Just think of something. Don't just sit there because I'm providing for you to tell yourself a job will come for you. Because I have seen men who have pride whereby they are saying, oh, you fired me. Do you know how many companies need me? And then you are sitting there 6 months later, no one is needing you. You are waiting. Even if you are my husband, please, 3 months, relax. Let your brain calm down. Just figure things out. Think of what you want to do. But after that, I want to see you making an effort because you're not going to be lying in the bed doing nothing.
You know, let me say something. Something even based, men, have you heard this? You know, the thing is, as a man, you are only as good
As
to
you
a
bring
woman
something, yeah.
as a utility.
Yeah.
No, but
And have you heard, men? Have you
I
heard?
always
Have you,
say, guys, I always say it.
have we said anything? They've said it themselves.
Yeah.
And the moment you lose your utility or even your economic
Power.
power, you are on a clock. And you are on a serious clock. And here's the thing, there's one or two things. Yes, you said time. Women will immediately put you on a time. She said 3 months. That was too nice. In reality, she's just in that for PR. In 2 weeks, if you're still there, she's depressed apple.
No,
No. Yeah, she's there, it's me.
But have you
whatever.
asked yourself
No,
if
the
I
thing
would
is-
sleep?
Now, the thing is, as a man, you get out of depression, you must do something.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is the fact. And as a guy, you also have to take note that you'll be criticized more by what you can and cannot do. And most definitely, the biggest criticism will come from inside your house, the person that you're even sleeping with right there next to you.
Why are you
And
pointing
that is
at
a fact.
Yeah, you see, Simon, I said last week that women marry with opportunity in mind.
Yeah.
So if
because
you
we
lose,
are naturals.
yes, if
You
Yes.
need to provide a good sperm, and you
Then
need
we
to look
multiply.
after-
Yes.
yeah, so if you are going to get married, if you are going to get married to a woman and you lose your job,
Yes.
you must quickly realize of a plan B. I know men who, we see when Maria is talking, I remember there's a guy who lost his job, but would wake up every morning, very early, wear his suit and go to town, sleep in Uhuru Park, come back, buy a newspaper and come home.
But just talk to me about it.
You
Tell
know
me.
why?
Because you can't bear the pain in the house.
Because the moment he says that, you know, I lost my job, even the respect in the house changes. Even the treatment changes immediately. This is how women are.
And the
Women will,
undertones, and the
they will,
undertones.
if you used to be served food in your favorite plate and with the right amount of salt, that day you'll be served in a ton plate and no salt.
Not
And
even
if you
that.
ask for salt, it will be thrown to
Yes.
you. You know where it is. You can go and as well pick it. So remember that women are very strategic in how they do their thing. So if you're a man, you must figure out your life from the beginning. The most important thing actually from that story is figure it out. If you lose, you snooze. If you snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
If you must figure out, if I don't have a job today, how will this family survive?
And there's also something else that even needs to be emphasized. Women have no patience for any man.
No, they
We
don't.
do.
They don't even have patience.
I have
at
said
all.
3 months,
And-
Simon.
see, you see, 3 months. As a man, you can even go a whole lifetime. Your wife has earned
Zero. And, you
and
provide.
what? And you're okay.
Okay,
She has
if
earned
this
what?
wife has ever worked somewhere, she will not sleep.
Yes.
But
If-
that's why you're a man.
That's why you are a man.
That's why you're
You
men.
see the entitlement on a heel.
Provide and
Okay, guys.
protect. No, but the problem is, let's not shift the roles here.
No, we were
we
not.
are not shifting the roles. My job is to nurture. Anything else I bring is bonus. I should be praised, in fact.
No, it's
Your
okay.
job is to provide and protect. Anything else you do is bonus. If you come and cook in the house, thank you so much. You are even doing the bonus. If you are cleaning your children, you are doing the bonus. Now, for me, if I do the bonus,
So,
it's
yeah.
a big deal. You should sleep.
So I tell guys, make sure as a man, and I'll tell men out there, pay for your kids' school fees so that you're not told you didn't educate your kids. If you pay rent, make sure you pay rent and buy food in that house. Provide, dress your wife and your kids so that she does not say, when the kids
Nateseka.
grow up, hata unajua baba yenyu akuwa anawavalisha ni mimi nilikuwa nanunua nguo. Be sure
Yeah.
that you do the most interesting things for the family, because and it is I don't know whether they do it by design or plan, but women will always remind their kids what they have done for their kids.
Yeah.
But they will not tell you that your father paid your dad paid your school fees. He just say, you see me, I'm the one. You see, if it wasn't me, you would have gone to school. That's
They
a natural-
overvalue
Yes.
the things that they do,
Yes.
and they never actually recognize the things that even a man does. So even men sometimes will not even appreciate it by women. So even ladies out there, I'm talking to you, appreciate the man that you are, because we men sometimes, because we're going through a lot.
A lot.
And the fact is, ladies are out there, don't even know how to appreciate the guy. For example, ladies don't even know a simple thing as, what is your man's favorite football team? A simple thing, and then they expect him to know
Why
the
would you know
exact
such
flower,
things?
know the color.
Okay,
and what.
at least I
You
know.
don't even
At least I know. I know.
You
I
don't
know
even
it's
his
Chelsea.
favorite
At least
player.
I know. At least I'm good.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's
So,
the truth.
It's very interesting that women have said that 3 months. We've taken 3 months. Maria, thank
Yes.
you for the heads
Yes.
up.
Now go do something. And I'm Jengo.
Tutajenga mjengo. But this week also, 2 things happened. The government of Kenya, they're trying to look at people with fake degrees. And the civil service, there are 2,100. And I'll give you a backstory. A few weeks ago, this incident started at Kenyatta National Hospital. And they are looking at people who are working there with fake papers. One family, a husband, a wife, and 2 sons, just did not report to work the next day. Because when they were going through the papers, can you imagine a whole family, all of you have fake papers and you're working in a hospital?
That's a family that's
In
together.
what department?
I will not reveal.
No, what I mean is it working as nurses,
not
doctors,
nurses, not nurses and doctors.
or administration?
Administration.
Administration.
Yeah, but this thing is deeper. It's like a cancer in our
Yeah.
society that people are really, really are buying certificates.
Even let me even like go further. Could they be looking for a certain governor who's in the capital city of Kenya? Because I've heard those 2 rumors about that case papers. There was those rumors before election. By the
No,
way.
even
There was those
not even
rumors.
that rumors. Yes,
Yeah.
the other day the Deputy President Rigiji actually was saying that in his address.
Yeah.
He talked, and the governors were there. He said, even in this government, there are 5 governors we know who do not have papers.
And there was no pointing fingers, but he pointed.
And some of them are with me here tonight.
Oh, no.
And the gentleman he was talking about was in that meeting. Yes.
You see, this is the thing. But this is the thing. Why, as a society, we need to have a conversation with ourselves. The other day, we saw some policemen just openly receiving bribes like that. Yeah. And, you know, if you're going to receive bribes like that in a very open way, or if you're going to be giving bribes yourself, and sometimes you're in a position when you can't, then be ready to be treated by a fake doctor. You just will not know. You understand? Be ready to go somewhere. You're being served by someone who doesn't even, like this. There's such a rot. The rot in the society is just too much.
The other thing,
You know?
is it that the fact that we are allowing these people with even talking openly about it, which is good, awareness is good, but talking openly about these fake papers is really undermining the education of this country.
Yes.
Because, you know, now, people will not be scared of having them. As long as their positions are not in the government, we can get them and we can do with them anything we want. And in some things, like, for example, a hospital having fake papers, that is very, very wrong. But now our children and these people who are now in university and high school will not see the value of education if so-and-so can have fake papers and make this amount of money. So I feel like even as I understand publicizing it is good for awareness, but also it's also a way to make the society more rotten than it actually is. Just get
It's
them
an era of free speech. This is the second time I'm saying.
But
it's
the
an
free
era
speech
of,
is
it's
ruining
not
the society.
it's not publicizing.
Should go
it.
back to drums
the
and
fact
fire.
that the fact that but I hear what you're saying, but the fact that we need to be aware of that this thing is actually there. But what
yes.
are we doing about it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
yes,
are we
yeah.
introducing, like, the other day I was looking at which license, one of the licenses that my company has, it even has a barcode. Yeah, a barcode that takes you to the government organization, where, so that if it's a license that you have, some people are using fake licenses.
Yeah.
You can scan and it can take you exactly where it was issued and everything. So are we putting in any security markers? Like, exactly what are we going to be doing for certain certificates to be allowed, or diplomas, or whatever it is to be allowed as qualification? What is the government doing about it? Anyway, who is the government?
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to fake degrees and fake papers, if someone is at the brink at which of desperation and you now need these papers and these qualifications, and the fact that you can tell that there are no serious mechanisms to check and actually see that indeed that I can get that indeed that these papers are not going to be double checked, cross checked in any way, I will execute. People will do the bad which they can get away with. That is always the truth, until there actually means and mechanisms to actually now curtail that. Of course, you say there's in some licenses and everything, when it comes to like papers and all that, literally it's just a matter of printing out the paper, even if it's my real degree, and I bring it to CEO, here's my, and he just looks at it. He's not over here scanning, think, and confirming that indeed did Simon graduate with a communications degree from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology? Yes, I did. And now, and the thing is this true? He does it. He just knows, okay, cool, Simon, come for interview tomorrow. That's literally the mechanism it is. Eye test. And when it comes to that is, whenever, that's what you should always know. People will always make that adjustment. And when it comes to even fake papers and everything, this is not a new thing. I mean, from even past governments and everything. What's the issue is, when it comes to now high-end government officials, that's now where it starts looking really bad. If it was just maybe like a clerk down there or anything, that would have been like, okay, cool, we need to now look downwards. But in the top notch, seeing some governors, who actually governors don't even have the intellect actually that they say purports to have, that they actually don't have it, and the deputy president is saying that indeed 4 of them, he hasn't had to say 4 of them, showing the incompetence in the system in which he serves. Saying that indeed what we have done is that these people who are in our party, yes, we recognize that indeed they are incompetent and they are not even qualified by those papers which they say that they do, but we accept it, and we're going to say it like a joke, because indeed we do recognize the Kenyans will accept any form of mediocrity that we serve them, because this is Kenya. hiyo sasa.
Tutaumia. But anyway,
Ndio hiyo sasa.
I think you've captured it very well. I will not comment further. Finally,
Oh, what's up?
this week it was Thursday. Our Chief of Defense Forces, the late General Francis Ogolla, an effective army man, passed on in a deadly chopper crash in Ocean Gishu. I think it's a very sad day. It was a sad day, and it's still sad for a general of that caliber to pass on a plane crash. And maybe just a tribute to the man, the legend, the myth. What do you have to say?
For me, I would say this is that, yes, death is inevitable for everybody. And that's a shocker. I mean, even when it comes to now, you're hearing people passing away because of aircraft things, a lot of conspiracy theories are thrown out there about what could have, should have, or whatever. But even as the flags are flying half-mast, recognizing his contribution towards even the nation. Because he had served for how long?
Slightly over a year as the CDF.
And then, of course.
40 years as an army man.
He was not just some person EVV just passing away. And that's a serious, so even in that aspect of things, I like the fact even the president has even gone out so to even recognize that indeed this is giving even his condolences to the officers and everything. But it's very important to also make sure that this is, even if he was the first to pass away in office,
yes,
this should never, ever happen again, because whenever a high security officer of any nation can pass away in a tragic situation just like that, without proper security measures, that says a lot about a security system. Because even when Donald Trump even killed even one big Iranian officer, he was the top-notch Iranian general, way back, just to show might and force. What's that to say about, let's say, our future adversaries in a time in which wars are sprucing out everywhere? So even as Kenya as a nation, let's make sure we spruce up and protect our generals and protect our security officers to make sure that they are indeed a source of security for us all.
Maria, anything?
It is sad that he gave his life for the country, and he died a very painful death. May he rest well, and may his family find peace. And as a country, it's a very sad time, a time like this when we think of the people that dedicate their lives for the country. That's a big thing. Let's honor them, not just when they die, but always. Let's always honor them. May he rest well.
Dr. C.
Yeah, actually, I woke up with a song in my heart to sing for him. Usually, I'm not a musician, but sometimes when you're from inside, when you're trying to introspect. So I must say that personally, my family has really served this country in the army. Like my grandfather fought in Kismayu during the Second World War. I have very many people, senior ranking officials in the army, and I know how they dedicate, like they are ready to die for this country. So, I mean, for a senior person like that to die, like you've said already, to die in the way that he has died, people can be really hopeless, So I think I just want to tell people hope is the only thing that can act, is the only thing. In fact, it is a strategy. It is we cannot let hope die. And there's this song of Betty Midler that says, God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. So, God is watching us.
Yes.
I know these are really senior people who keep us safe But God is still there. God is watching us. And may his soul rest in peace, and sincere condolences to the family.
See you.
I think you've captured it very well, and it is sad that an army commander would die in such a way. It shows how we were not careful. Do you know that we are surrounded with very many dangerous neighbors who would like their trophy would be just to make sure that an army general is down?
Yes.
So it is like a trophy to many people. And worldwide, people would think, how would an army general die in an accident? Too many questions to be answered. Because one, how secure was his chopper? How do we maintain the choppers? How do we look at the itinerary and the people who are at his service? An army general is not an ordinary person. He's never been. If you look at the hierarchy of the Kenyan government officials and the protection, the way they are protected, an army general is protected only second to the president, because his passing on can create a lot of jitters. And you could see that it's only the president who could come to confirm and give a national address on his passing. Because it is not, serving a military for 40 years is no joke. So I think what I've also learned is that you look at his mission has always been, Ogolla's mission had always been one force, one mission, one force, and one nation. And he served it as a great leader. And I've had privilege of talking to very many senior officials in the military, and the way they remember the leader is that he was very transformative. The only other leader who has graced this military who was transformative was, of course, the man, the legend, Daudi Tonje, the general, who transformed the army to what it is today. He's still alive somewhere in Baringo, a great man. And of course, the one other man was Lieutenant General Opande, who is was in Gishu also, who has led the peace missions across Africa. And if you look at those gentlemen I've mentioned in the military, it shows you that Kenya is blessed with top military minds, topmost military minds, people who serve their country with dedication and skill, and also they make sure that our borders are safe. So for us here is to wish all the families of the 7 soldiers who perished God's guidance at these tough times. Of course, I remember Captain Lutali. Captain Lutali was very interesting. The man was the life of the party. Very interesting captain. May he rest well as well. And the photographer Nyawira, the young lady, very great woman. I think there are many people. The army has really lost some of the most intelligent people in there, people who are good leaders, and we wish the country peace, of course, because many people will say many things. People will think of many things, and there will be, as you said, a lot of conspiracies, theories. And it is, let's be real.
Let's be hopeful.
Let's be hopeful.